The first part of my project for Valentine's Day is going to involve Elmer's school glue or any kind of glue to apply glitter, and of course the glitter. So you need glue and glitter. And in this case, I'm going to use red glitter for Valentine's Day. So you need two things: glue to apply the glitter, glitter itself, whichever color, you could choose white. And I'm doing a heart. This is like a chipboard heart that I picked up at Michael's. It was on clearance, which was nice. And I've used some aluminum foil to kind of catch the glitter because I'm working on my pouring board here, or styrofoam lid. So my glue's kind of old. I hope it's still good. I think the stuff lasts forever. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually put any glue down or glitter on anything in a long time. So I hope it's still good, and I hope that I can remember how to do this. So I made sure it was unsealed. I peeled off the stuff off the top, and I'm going to try to do a little section by section. So I'm looking to see, y'all can see that. Okay. So we'll start over here. I do have a palette knife if I have to spread the glue. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and open my glitter. This is Recollections brand from Michael's. They were actually almost out of red glitter, it seemed. So I hope I can get the top off without breaking my nail. You would think it would be easy. Okay, it just kind of pops off like so. Sealed for your protection. I'm using extra fine glitter. Like, they had more in the children's section, but I'm going to be honest with you. Oh my gosh, this could be messy. They had more in the children's section, but I didn't like it because it was large. So hopefully you can see that's really fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat the base of the heart with this red extra fine glitter. I'm going to snap that back on. I have 2 containers, not sure how much I'm going to need. And now I'm going to get started. We're going to hope, okay, that's coming out, but it's not coming out very well. Yeah. It dries clear. It's safe, non-toxic, dries clear. Okay. Sure someone else has better ideas on how to spread Elmer's glue, but in this instance I don't have little kid hands. I can't squeeze that hard on the glue bottle. And I'm not making that up either. I had to sharpen at work a whole bunch of pencils. And I'm sharpening and sharpening, and I'm like, oh my God, I thought my hands. So I feel like I'm sprinkling paprika on deviled eggs or something. It's very fine, so you could probably actually breathe this in. It's so little. It's not like the big plastic pieces. And I want it nice and glittery. Make sure I get the edges. You're like, what are we going to be doing with this heart? Well, this is step 1. And I need it to dry, right? And I prefer it dried kind of flat. But if it's not, that's okay. I could probably smush it down some. Let me shake it and see what happens here. Can you see? Nothing's coming off. I guess I'm not using too much glitter. So even though it looks like it's dulling in color as it mixes with the glue dries clear. It doesn't have, it doesn't have to be like real thick. It just needs to be red and shiny, which the stuff sitting on top sure seems to be. Now let's see, wasn't adding enough. Maybe a little bit's falling off there. So I'm just going to kind of push it down into the glue. If it comes off your finger, you didn't put enough. But really, it's really a matter of preference. Ooh, don't do that. I really don't want glitter everywhere. Now I had some fall off. Okay, so I like that. There's still some holes in it. It's very shiny. I really like that. That's what I was going for. But I can see I did not put enough glitter in some spots. For my liking, you might feel differently. And if you don't use extra fine glitter, obviously, you know, that'll make a difference. So I'm just very gently patting it down. There we go. And it's pretty level, so that's perfect. I'm working in sections. That was a larger section than I thought, but it'll work. Now, if you wanted to do some sort of broken heart thing, you could do any sort of design on the bottom, but we are going to go for a full heart. Okay. And this really is the easiest way to apply the glue, I think. So I just have a plastic palette knife. I have some nice wooden ones, but I don't want to use those. Kind of pulls together, doesn't want to stick. I'm not worried about anything going off the edge too much. Or anything that gets in the glue itself, because it'll be covered up with more glitter. Now this is going to be the hard part in here, so just going to put a little more down. Oops. It's still not dry over there, so I could have waited till it was dry, but I'm not. Okay, that's a larger section than I wanted. It's okay. Remember, I don't want it too thick. I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. So I need to move fast. Sometimes it's easier to just cover it all at once so that it should somewhat level, but trying to get your seam there is the hard part. So we should have plenty of glue here. I'm working backwards. Okay. Come on, glue. Get in there. Okay. Okay. Someone did what we're going to do, what I'm going to do with this heart with resin. Now, resin, for those of you who don't know, is something like an epoxy sealer, kind of. and it can be toxic, and depending on what kind you get, and it causes a chemical reaction, and it hardens and it seals and it gives you a glass-like finish, which is awesome, right? Kind of like pouring medium. But it's more expensive, and and I don't have a garage or an outside or necessarily want to wear a respirator. So someone asked if what the other person did with resin, and I can't remember who it was, you could do with pouring medium. And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to try. So that's what we're doing. We're going to actually do this glitter coat. Then we're going to pour pouring medium over the heart to seal it, and then we're going to pour over it again with some GAC 800 mixed in. Now, this could look really great, or this could look, you know, like a catastrophe. We're kind of experimenting, but it looked good with the resin. So we'll see how it functions with the pouring medium, what we're going to do. So this is step one. You're not going to be able to do anything for 24 hours or long enough for this glue to dry. I better start going faster. Even though I might end up speeding this up, you might not hear this. Probably won't. Gonna stand up and check it. Okay, now that I'm done, that's my seam right there. Applying Okay, now that I'm done applying my glitter, I'm going to let it dry for approximately 24 hours, and I'm going to look in there and see if there's any areas I'd like to add more to, and you may have to hold it up and tilt it so you can see if there are any areas that you missed some. Like so. All right, so I'm done. I'm going to let that sit for 24 hours to dry, and then we will go on to the next step. All right, it's been, I would say, a good 24 hours or so since I was able to last work on my project. All of the glue should be dry, all the glitter should be down, and I'm just going to kind of lift it up and shake the excess off. And take a look at it and see, I think that's good. So I don't want to use this. Oops, palette knife left on there. At least it's better than a brush. I'm going to set this over there and just kind of move this to the side. But I'll take my palette knife off. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to use my pouring medium, which, yes, I've refilled this several times, so it's looking kind of ragged, but my pouring medium, I'm just going to seal it. So it's going to be very simple. I'm debating on whether I want to use a cup, and I don't even think so. So actually, I'll use a little cup. I'm just going to use one of these. You can probably hear that right on the mic, sorry. I'll just use one of these little cups to give me some control over what I'm doing. And just in case, I'll put some gloves on in case I need to mess with it. So, like I said earlier, this is just the first layer. All right. Of course, I would have probably not wasted any by pouring it in the cup, but here we go. Hopefully you can see that. No, there's not too much shadow. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I'm adjusting the lights. All right. I'm just going to shake it off one more time. I don't know if it's going to all run with it or not, but we'll see. So it's not running at all, probably because interesting. I don't think it's running at all because there is some grip to the glitter. I hope that's not a bubble in there. I don't know if there's something in there. There was a bubble. Look at that. No, I better quit messing with it. There. This is not the final coat, so there will be more on top of this. I was hoping it would level out, and hopefully it will. I don't want to waste any. So I'm trying not to put too much down, but I'm just kind of going around the edge of where I've already poured so that as it flows out, and it may all flow off, I'm not sure. I feel like this is very delicate. But I will say, guys, I need some ideas for color schemes for some more projects because I can do the pouring and everything. I just need to find, and I've been looking online for some interesting color schemes to use. I guess I could just I should have just put a thing down there. I have more of these little cups to just catch the pouring medium as it falls off. Let's see what happens when I try to pour it or move it. Oh, okay, not smart. I guess that's what happens when you try to pour something that's heart-shaped. I should have done it the other way, but that's all right. It's also possible that this glitter will sink to the bottom because it is, I think, metallic glitter. I don't think it's plastic. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit more around the edge. I could use more glitter there. Oh, there's a hair. There's a hair on my sleeve. Okay, so I like that. I think it looks good. And some of it is dripping off, but that's all right. I'm just going to leave it like this and let it dry. And then I'll come back in a while, like maybe another 18 hours. And see how it's looking. So if it dried just like that, it should dry clear. Now there is a little bit of glitter on top. I'm okay with that. Hopefully there won't be any bubbles. I'm not sure what this is right there, but it just looks kind of like the glitter's coming to the top. It shouldn't float, I hope. Where's my pack? Doesn't say, it just says Recollections Extra Fine Glitter. Garnet is the color. It does not say whether it's metal or plastic or what the glitter is made out of. So I'm just going to leave it like that. It should dry clear. And when it dries, because there's no paint in it whatsoever. So when it dries clear, you should be able to see the glitter shining through. It should be sealed in there. And then after that's dry, I'm going to go in and we're going to pour another layer. But this time we're going to add some paint. So exciting stuff up ahead. See you in about 18 hours, guys. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Or I should say welcome back to me, since I had to put this project to the side. I did some paintings and then I couldn't get back to the heart because the painting was drying and I didn't want to move it. So here's our heart. It has the pouring medium on it, the glitter. You can see where I had it stuck to the cups. The stuff runs everywhere. It's all over it. I think when I tilt it and pour it, it gets on the cups. But it was pretty level. So I'm just going to set it back down. And now that I have my glitter sealed in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the white. This is just some of the mixed up pouring medium with white that I have in a squeeze bottle. I'm going to use the white on the side with the rest of it covered in pouring medium so that it's an even coat, and I'll probably do some little swirls on the side, maybe just on the left side. We'll see. So the first thing I'm going to do is pour some pouring medium in these little cups. I have to remember to sit forward, sorry. And so I have some pouring medium in my cup. I'm just going to pour it on here. It took longer than I anticipated to dry. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see where the swirl is. I actually want a little more than that. And I'm going to use a stick to kind of just move it to cover the whole thing. The heart, I think, is about 10 inches, so it is, once you go over the edge, it'll keep running over, just so you know. But that's okay. Anyhow, it took longer than I anticipated for it to cure and dry. I don't know if that's because this is a piece of wood I'm working with, or canvas. Probably has something to do with there's no air circulation underneath. So just so you know, it takes longer than normal for this to dry if you use a heart. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the white on the left side. it dries clear, so all you should see when it's done is the pouring medium on top with the little, which is clear, plus the little white swirls. So you should be able to see these white swirls much better once the whole thing dries. Not bad. Maybe I'll do the whole thing. I don't know. We'll see. This isn't, I'm not giving this to anyone per se, but I thought it would be a neat idea to do something Valentine's Day themed. Of course, this is where it gets tricky. Being that I am right-handed, everything I do, it's kind of like when I curl my hair, the curls go one way. So they're going to go another way if I could turn it upside down, but they'd look different. They'd still look different. So there's plenty of material on here, as you can see when I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this. See, it's not going to look the same, so I'm going to try to do it left-handed. I'm just going to go around the edge. I don't want it to, it's going to run off. Yikes. Which I don't want it to do. This is going to be one of those projects where you can't just let it sit. You're going to have to check it. I mean, I feel like it's pretty level here. But there's obviously a lot more white over there. I'm using my stick to scrape anything that's coming off the side at the bottom. Just kind of making little wispy effect around the side of the heart. So this is actually kind of a cool idea, I think. If you wanted to do something specific for a specific project, all you would need is to make sure your cutout is in whatever shape. And I thought about doing red, but the thing with red is it's not going to look right against the glitter, in my opinion. I mean, try as I might like to be able to match it, I'm not going to be able to. So I'm hoping that when it dries, you'll be able to just see the white against the red. And it's titanium white is actually what's in there, and it's actually one of the thickest. It's a very thick color. So it should scraping stuff off the side, putting it back on there. I kind of wish this was more solid right here. Just a little bit more solid. So what you might have to do is just watch it until it pretty much firms up enough. I don't want that bubble. I mean, the sides don't look anything the same, but I like them nonetheless. Okay. So I'm trying to be very gentle. And I could go away, watch TV for 10 minutes and come back, and all the white might have dripped off. So that's the way it goes when you're doing this. Yeah, I did that on purpose because I wanted more white down here at the bottom. And then you could take some there's just a lot of paint inside the cup that it's sitting on. Just gonna move it some like that. Hopefully you can still see it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, if there's nothing running over the sides, then that's why I keep scraping them. There's nothing running over the side. There's nothing, how do I say this? When it runs over the side, it continues to pull more pouring medium over the edge. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And I don't want it to do that. So I'm just trying to fine tune what I want it to look like. And then I'm going to let it sit and not mess with it. Easier said than done. I don't know, maybe that looks okay up there. Now for the sides, I can go back. It's not even covered. This is why you have to make sure you check your painting from all angles. So I'm standing up now. And I kind of like that, so I'm just going to leave it like that for a while and see what it does. Maybe. See how it's not moving as fast when I move the stick through it? That means it's getting, it's starting to firm up. Okay, so I'm just going to let that sit, and I'm going to tell you right now it's probably going to take at least 24 hours, if not longer, to sit there and firm up. So I hope you enjoy. I'll be back to show you the final project. Again, this was just regular pouring medium, no color added over most of it, and then I went in and added some white from my squeeze bottle around the edge. And I could even put something else in the middle if I wanted to, but I don't. Maybe I should add more white. I don't know. I do though. I really kind of feel like maybe it should be thicker. Maybe I'm not done. Where's that stick? I don't want it running off the side. And even though it looks purple, it's not going to be purple. It's going to be red once it dries. Yeah. I like that better. Okay, so I'm just going to let it dry like that and we'll see what happens. It may look awesome, it may look crazy, but it should be a red heart with white on top of it. Okay, so I'm going to let that set and we'll see what we come up with. Hello again, everyone. Here's the final project. I'm showing you an image of it. I went ahead and added some trim around it, a few embellishments, and yes, I have crazy handwriting, but I did write on it. If you like this video, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you're thinking about trying pouring medium over glitter, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of more videos. Thanks for watching. Lots of love.